Hello guys, it's Ethnic Green Living here, and I am back with another sit down chit chat. You guys are really liking these. I'm liking doing them. It makes it easier for me to do. So I want to talk about our debt-free journey on one income. And so I just have a couple of notes here because I don't want to get rambly and forget anything that was good. So I have a few tips if you guys are trying to become debt-free, particularly if you're doing it on one income, although I just think the tips will help everyone. So the first thing is for you to make a budget and stick to it. And a lot of people get afraid when they hear that and they start to get, budget. But basically it's just telling your money where it's gonna go instead of your money telling you. So for a quick example, if you have $200 a month that you're budgeting to food, if you put it in an envelope or have a credit card that just has the $200 for that, guess what? When the $200 is gone, it's gone. And so the way that you'll know that you are sticking to that budget is by keeping track of your spending and making sure that you don't go over each allotted amount. And so you figure out how much money you have, figure out what things you need to pay out, and that will help you determine what your budget needs to be. So there are two people I recommend and two apps. I don't use the apps, but I do love the people, but I still wanted this video to be very helpful. So Mint.com is a budget app, and also the Every Dollar app. Those are some great apps that may help you. A lot of people love using technology. They love their phones, they love their cards. I'm an old-fashioned gal. I love planners, I love paper. I'm a crafter, a scrapbooker. I like this type of thing. So for me, what works is Dave Ramsey and The Budget Mom. And The Budget Mom has a notebook, it's like a workbook style budget planner, and so it's on paper because again, I don't like doing the digital. I've tried digital planners, digital different things, and that's not me. Again, I love paper. And Dave Ramsey actually he has an envelope system. But again, I did include both options because I do know that not everybody likes paper and not everybody likes electronic, so you can decide what works for you. My second tip is surround yourself with people that are like-minded like you, that have the same goals that you have. And I'll be so very upfront with you. All of my friends are either debt-free or they're on a journey to be debt-free. Because the truth is, if I am trying to be debt-free and then I've got a friend who's over here just splurging and spending, the two's not gonna mix. Eventually we're gonna pull apart anyway, because they're gonna always be saying, Christy, can you do this and that? And I'm always gonna be saying no, something else. So we're just gonna pull apart naturally. So try to find yourself a group of people or surround yourself with people that are like-minded, that are encouraging you, not saying, girl, you're being cheap or you're being frugal or you should go do this, you need to go spend this, you need to go spend that, but that are saying, hey, why don't I keep your kids this day? You keep my kids this day. Why don't you guys come over? We have a double date at home. We make this, you make that. Together we have a meal and the kids go and play. So that's what I mean about community and just surrounding yourself with good people, because you can feed off each other, you can help each other. Girl, I wanted to get that Louis Vuitton bag, or girl, I wanted to get that lip gloss, whatever your thing is. We all have something, and that friend will be like, you know what, let's hold off on it, let's think about it, and then maybe come back to it. So that's tip number 2. Okay, the third tip is to sell anything you don't need to have, anything you don't love, anything that you don't use. If you have this big fancy living room set, but you never even sit in it, you never even have company, you never even have guests, maybe consider selling that. And maybe you love art, and then consider putting an art room in there. So you're getting rid of what you don't love and need that's taking up space, and then you're making the money from that you can put towards your debt. And then also you're now putting what you love in its place. So now you're gonna just be happier because you have a place and a space to do what it is that you love and what it is that you're called to do, and you're getting rid of that which you think you should or need to have. And I think that this can apply for all aspects of your life. If there's another area in your home or whatever that you have, for example, your office, and maybe you don't even use an office, but maybe you're wanting a music room, swap it up, sell all your office stuff and then put your music things in there. And so you're kind of killing two birds with a stone. You're getting rid of what doesn't bring you joy, you're bringing in what does bring you joy, and then from the sales you're able to bring in a little bit of additional income, or just kind of move that income lateral if you're not going to pay off the bills. If you can get like a part-time or side job just to help with like simple things like a little bit of extra groceries, or if there is something that you want that maybe is not in the budget, by selling something or doing something on the side, now you have the income without taking away from the budget or what it is that you need and what it is that you've already discussed that you were going to stick to. Because when you say you're going to stick to, you really need to stick to it. Tip number 4 is if you are a family, a married family, consider just one vehicle. Do you really need 2 vehicles? Can you take the spouse to work, or can your spouse bike to work or walk to work or bus to work? Only you know your situations. Obviously, if you're in the country, there's no biking, there's no bus, there's none of that to work. So then you need 2 vehicles. But if you're living in the city, then do you need to have that car? Especially if it's just sitting there, now you're paying the insurance and the gas and all these things, all these expenses. So consider that. And if you have to buy a second vehicle, or if you're in the market to buy a vehicle, consider buying a used vehicle and consider paying cash for it. That interest adds up so quickly and so fast, and you know, it's just a lot to think that, yeah, I'm riding around this nice vehicle, but I'm paying on it for 6 years. So it makes more sense to just buy something that's good and economic and something you can just take to the shop and get a few things done here and there, but that will still be good and that will still last you, and you don't have to pay any money monthly. So now that money that you would have been paying, you can pay to something else, save for vacation, put to retirement, or whatever, according to where you are on your debt journey. Another option is you can downgrade. And so one time I had this lady, because I used to do licensed childcare for almost 8 years. And so the lady drove a BMW truck. And so one day she came and she had a Jeep, and I was like, oh, wow, I love that. And the BMW truck was a little older and the Jeep was a little bit newer. And she was like, yeah, well, I've got a newer vehicle and my payments went down, like I think it was $200 or something a month. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so just something like that, you know, you might be losing that, oh, I've got a BMW, but you're getting something that's newer and you're saving more money. So also think about something like that. Tip number 5. Stop upgrading. Stop upgrading your vehicles and your cell phones and your services and the latest, biggest TVs and electronics and gadgets, because guess what? As soon as you get that, there'll be another latest and biggest gadget and shoe and all these things. And so it'll be like a rat race to continually have the newest, and you'll be out of money. And sometimes you can resell those things, but you never really get all of what you spent. The moment you drive off the lot with the car, the moment you buy anything, the value does appreciate generally. So that's something to think about in shopping all the sales. And I'm not saying not to shop sales, because that's the only way I shop predominantly is a sale. But however, every time Victoria has a sale, or every time Bath and Body Works has a sale, or every time Abercrombie and Fitch, or whatever name or design or brand, Gucci, Versace, whatever it is that you like, stop thinking that you have to get something because it's a sale. Do you need it? Are you going to wear it? Are you already wearing what you already have? If you already have enough, you don't necessarily need to get more. But now if you're running out, or you only have the 1 or 2, and there's a great sale and you've saved and budget for it, by all means go ahead for it. I'm all for it, but if not, then no. Along those same lines, try to buy secondhand. So clothes, furniture, cars, etc., things like that you can buy off Facebook Marketplace, Facebook, Craigslist, just private people one-on-one saying, hey, I'm selling this, or hey, what I do is, hey, do you know anybody selling blah blah blah? Hey, do you know anybody that's doing da-da-da service, networking, Angie's List, things like that. And that'll really help you. Along those same lines is we keep things minimal and multi-purposeful. So we don't need 10 toys that do the same thing. We need one open-ended toy that can give us all of the results. So less is more a lot of times. And I think that you'll find that by keeping things minimum, even with your children and their gifts, holidays, Christmas, Easter, whatever different things you celebrate and put together, by being minimal and just being very strategic and very thoughtful of the items, you're able to cut down a lot even in that regard as well. And lastly, that kind of goes along with the upgrading, shopping, the sales, etc., is just to try to pay off everything early. And I guess it kind of goes back to considering just the one vehicle as well. So 4 and 5, I want to do the sidebar of pay off everything as early as you can or pay extra to it. So what I mean by that is paying one extra house payment per year, which I think knocks off 5 to 7 years. Paying off one extra car payment per year, or paying an extra $100 per month. Little things like that seem small, but that really add up. Number 6, cut out eating out and buying as much packaged food as possible. So again, back to the B word, the budgeting. Go ahead and budget maybe once a month or twice a month, depending on your financial situation, that you go out to eat. Or for us, we go out to eat for birthdays. We are a large family. We are a family of 7. And so typically when we go out to eat, we're looking at $100. The cheapest around maybe $50. And $50 to $100 eating out 2 to 3 times a week, we're looking at $800 a month, and that's ridiculous. I could spend $800 a month and we could eat for the whole month, and then we could eat organic and natural and non-GMO and all those things. So my tip is to try to cook and make everything from scratch that you can. Buy things on bulk and or on sale. Make a menu plan, and also make a grocery list. So know what you're gonna have each day, and then when you go to the grocery store, only buy those things. Or better yet, with all these new delivery services, go ahead and order it, and then you won't be tempted to pick up this extra, this and that and that and this, because you see it and because it's on sale while walking through the store as well. So the next thing is, I did want to add to that. Consider maybe 1 to 2 vegetarian meals per week. We know that meat can be expensive, and by buying or making 1 to 2 vegetarian meals per week, not only can you be a little extra healthier, but also you can save a little bit of money. So maybe a meatless Monday or something like that. I think that'll be a really good start. Vacations. So I have been to Freeport and Nassau in the Bahamas. I have been to Puerto Rico, and I have been to a lot of the states, and I have dreams and goals and ambitions to travel and do so much more. But something that I like just as well as those big trips are the vacations that we took when the boys and I went camping. And that was actually I think I delivered my 5th child 2 or 3 weeks after that camping trip. And I actually have a video here on YouTube about it. And I also want to mention, I do have some videos on hauls and cooking from scratch and DIY things. So those type of videos will help you get into the mindset and mode of budgeting. So it's, instead of taking larger trips, to maybe take local small getaways where you can pack your own food. Again, try camping. Campsites are typically cheaper than hotels. Not typically, they just are. They're cheaper than hotels. Where a hotel might be $100 to $200 a night, camping might be $30 to maybe $50 a night. And depending on what campground you're at, you have access to water parks, to pools, to beaches, and little things like that. And so they really help keep the costs low, but you still can get away with your family and enjoy. No one's saying this life has to be like, oh, I don't get to do anything. Like, I still have on makeup, I still have nice things, nice clothes, nice home. I'm just being very intentional about telling my dollars where to go instead of all the money's gone and I have no idea where it went. I know where everything is going because I'm being mindful and strategic and specific. Okay, number 8, cut out gym memberships and cable if you can. I know cutting out cable is not for everyone. I know we will always keep the internet, but there's Netflix and Hulu and PureFlix and things like that, and most people are really big into watching YouTube and things like that. So you don't always need those fancy cable packages. I'll tell you a quick story. I am going to be moving soon, and so I just called to find out about the local packages in the area. I won't say the name of the place, but they told me $244 a month. Yes, I said $244 a month. I don't know about you guys, but that just seems outrageous, and that seems really expensive. That could be a whole car payment. That could just be so many things. So I'm obviously not gonna do that. I do love, and I do mean love, going to the gym, but I had to cut out my expensive gym membership. I was going to a really high-end gym that was like, it had a spa in there. You can get massages and pedicures and manicures, and it was really hot tubs and sauna. Like, it was just a really amazing gym, but I was paying a really amazing price. So might have to downgrade a little bit to maybe like a YMCA, which a family package is less than $100, or something like a Planet Fitness. You go when husband's home, husband goes when wife's home, or whatever, however your family is, grandparents, whatever it works out to be, your makeup. And that's $10 a month. So little downgrades like that can really, $10 a month, $200 a month, $10 a month, $160, or $10, $10 or $100. So you just start to think like that, and already you can see just over these few tips how the money that you didn't think that you had is now starting to appear once you cut out some things that you don't really need or use anyway. Number 9. So I know this is not everybody's forte, but since this is a green living channel, I have to talk about it. If you can cloth diaper, if you can nurse, anything like that, to help with money. You don't have to pay formula, you don't have to pay for diapers, even if you can do reusable wipes and reusable cleaning rags and things like that, they really help. And then if possible, if you live in an area where you can, go ahead and hang those things up to dry, and that saves you even more with the electric. If you're not in a place where you can hang it up outside, because it just smells really good when you bring it inside, go ahead and just invest in maybe one of those little drying racks that you can bring inside and just clothes hang, or lay the things over. And the best part about that is you can get the kids involved. You can let the kids go ahead and hang those things there and take them down and fold it. Now we're getting some Montessori in there. We're getting some hands-on in there. We're getting some being a part of the family and sharing this thing together, because we're in it together, going on. You're teaching your responsibility early. And last thing, number 10, consider the sacrifices you are already currently making in the life you have. Is it worth it? And if so, good. Try some of the 9 steps above. And if not, what changes can you make? Okay, for example, I have 6 raised beds out there because at the time I needed my backyard for the childcare. Okay, but say you didn't have any space at all. Could you join a garden group? Could you join another family that gardens? Could you tell them, we'll come over and help you in exchange for a few pieces of fruit or vegetables? That's what I'm talking about, that community building that we don't see as much of anymore, but we need to see, and that should be the bones and foundation of our beings. Also, okay, you can't go to the gym, you can't pay that $160 a month, or you can't even pay the $10 to the Planet Fitness, because there ain't even a penny left over. Okay, do you have a park in your neighborhood? Do you have a trail? Can you go for a walk? Can you go for a hike? Can you print off a scavenger hunt? Can you draw your own or make your own scavenger hunt? Come on, kids, we're going on an adventure. Get that backpack on you, put some lunch or some snacks in there. Oh, and by the way, while we're here, let's spread out this blanket and let's get our water bottles and our snacks or our lunches, and bam, you've got a picnic, and they've got this date with mama that they will love, and they will remember that for days to come, and it was free. My children still remember all those little picnics and things that I have been doing since day one, and it was free. And just the cost of the food or the lunch that we would have eaten anyway. But it's memories to last a lifetime. If you have a vehicle, go ahead and hop in the car and meet some other families there. You bring this snack, I bring this snack, all the kids play together, we eat together, bam, it's perfect. The biggest thing I just want to say to you guys is I just want you to live a life that you love, but I want you to just be mindful of where your money is going so that there can be enough. And so that you can get and be financially free. So if something comes up, you're not struggling trying to figure out what you're going to do, because you have an emergency fund, because you have some monies saved up. And it can be done on one income. And I'm not talking about 200,000, 3, 4, 500,000 a year. I'm not even talking about 80, 70, 60, 50. But I'm talking about you can make it and live even off 40,000 a year. And I've seen some people, even with larger families in mind, living off less than 40 and 30,000 a year. following some of those tips and just being very frugal as well. So I hope this really blesses you. I hope this really helps you along your journey by me sharing some of my tips. We have paid off all of our credit cards and we are tackling student loans, and then we'll pay off our vehicles and we're done. So this has helped me, and I'm sure that it'll help you. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Share this video with someone it might be helpful for. I love you guys. I want the best for you. It's just like talking with your sister or friend, someone who really cares you. They're just telling you these things to help you because they know it's good for you. So remember, you can do a lot with a little. And until next time, blessings.